The British Army had gotten a lot better at making tanks by the time World War II was beginning. They used the fast, light armored tanks and to infiltrate weak enemy defenses. The slow, heavy-moving armored tanks and infantry tanks were used to support the infantry as they moved towards enemy lines and invaded territory. The British Army Tortoise 839 was a super heavy tank. The Tortoise was designed as a defense tank to fire powerful ammunition and to work well with sacrifice mobility and performance. The Mark A A30 was also a tank destroyer. It had a powerful 76mm main gun and a Browning type 7.62mm machine gun. It was intended to take on the heaviest of German armor. 1. The Cruiser Mark Tank II A10 was a light tank. The light tanks were sent ahead of the troops beyond enemy defense and engaged in battle. It had a 40mm main gun and a 7.7mm machine gun and mounted Besa machine gun. The Cruiser Mark Tank VI was also a light tank. It had a 57mm main gun, and later Mark VI cruiser tanks also had a 76.2mm howitzer character, an ARV, and a variety of anti-aircraft gun combinations. The Sherman VC Firefly M4A4 was a medium tank. The medium tanks were used for advancing enemy lines, but slower than a light tank and more armored than a light tank. It had a 76.2mm anti-tank cannon, which could penetrate the armor of German tanks. The infantry tank Mark II Matilda A12 was a medium tank. It had a 40mm main gun and a 7.92mm Besa machine gun. The traverse was also a full 360 degrees. These were the heavy tanks. The heavy tanks were made for rough work such as trench crossing, infantry support, and defeating enemy fortifications and uneven terrain. The Tox was one of the longest heavy tanks, measured 33 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 10 feet high. It had a 76.2mm as the main gun, and well as a 7.92mm Besa machine gun. Hog 1 is also a heavy tank. It is measured 33 feet long, 10 feet in width, and 9 feet in height. The primary gun was a 2-pounder field gun and had the traversing turns as well as the 4 times 7.7mm general purpose machine guns holding in side projections. The self-propelled gun tanks were known for long-range attacks due to the longer barrels. The tanks were used to support the tanks and troops in the battlefield. The pistol Spar had a 75mm main gun. In 1940, it was upgraded to a 25-pounder field gun housed the turret. This weapon had an excellent rate of fire, was good at range and mobility. The Archer SPG tank destroyer / assault gun was a new type of tank that could shoot over the engine compartment. The Archer had a 57mm anti-tank cannon and an upgrade to a 76.2mm caliber gun and had a 17-pounder. Thank you. Credits directed by Austin Munson, made by Austin Munson. Here are the resources. Thank you.